Okay, so track number 3. This one is a little bit less kind of fusion and more kind of John Scofield kind of jazz-esque. Really simple chord progression, just 2 chords, but with a little lead into the first chord. So basically what we've got is A7 moving to D7, so like first 2 chords of a blues, essentially, the 1 and the 4. With the A7, what we're doing is we're leading into it by playing a G triad, and then an A flat triad, and then the A triad. And the comping of the guitar is adding in the 7th as well, so we get the kind of the sound of the dominant chord. But essentially what the bass is doing is just this, the root and the 3rd of the G, followed by the root and 3rd of the A flat, followed by the root and 3rd of the A. So we get this groove. And then the guitar, we get the 7th and the 3rd as well, so we've got that kind of dominant 7th sound. So that happens for the first 8 bars, and then we move into a D7 or D9 kind of groove. So we've got with a slightly more complex kind of comping guitar part going on, and an interesting kind of funk bass part. But essentially it's just A7 and D7. So for our basic version of this jam, when we're just kind of jamming with the least amount of kind of harmonic information possible to keep things simple, well, all we need to use is an A minor pentatonic. And I pretty much exclusively, apart from just a couple of notes, stuck entirely to the A minor pentatonic for my solo. And I've got to admit, actually, this is quite a good limitation exercise for me, because I find it quite hard to be as melodic as I would be with other material just using this minor pentatonic. So even if you're watching this and you think, well, I'm ready for the advanced jam, well, actually try playing over this track just using that A minor pentatonic. It's quite an eye-opener as to how your phrasing is and your creativity and the resources that you can pull from to actually create this interesting material from just this 5-note scale. Now, when I say the A minor pentatonic, of course, I also mean the blues scale, so we can get that's going to work great, adding that blue note in there as well, and obviously it doesn't cause too many people too many problems because we all know how to phrase with that particular scale. So as far as the basic jam goes, that's pretty much all you'd want to do, except on the odd occasion what I did on the D7 or the D9 chord, same thing, just with the 9th on, I added in the F sharp. Okay, now from the previous 2 jams, when we've been looking at our minor pentatonic scale, we've added in the 6th or 13th, and that's what we're going to do here to our A minor pentatonic. We're going to add in this F sharp, and the reason we do that is because that F sharp is the 3rd, the major 3rd of our D7 chord. So even if I just play a minor pentatonic phrase from A and then resolve onto that F sharp, or move onto that F sharp, you'll kind of hear the sound of that D7. So if I really gives me the sound of that D7. So as you move into that D7, feel free to add that F sharp into the scale. You can still phrase the same way, use the minor pentatonic, but if you land on that F sharp, it's going to give you the 3rd of the chord, so that sounds really great. So other than that, not really a lot to say apart from what we did previously, so bends, slides, vibrato, make use of nuances of the instrument. Try and play maybe on one string, challenge yourself in different parts of the neck that you're not used to playing in. Try and use you know, the maximum and gain the maximum fretboard knowledge you can. Okay, so that's the basic jam. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you at the intermediate one.